I need to apologize. I'm Chris, I'm a musician, and I'm sorry. I used to think that I was entitled to have and share my political convictions, but a growing host of Bob Couchmans and Sally Indignatas around the country have really shown me the error of my ways, and an artist's job, especially now, is to just shut up and sing. You know, despite the fact that musicians earn their living by driving engagement for an art form that has become increasingly commoditized, we really don't understand the first thing about business. Despite the fact that much of our earnings comes from driving direct-to-consumer sales of products and experiences, we don't get entrepreneurialism, marketing, supply chains, manufacturing, science and technology. No way, we don't get that either, despite the fact that acoustics is integral to our art form, and often so is electronic gear that goes into recording, performances, and so forth. Despite the fact that the distribution of and the remuneration for our music involves a whole host of middlemen, we don't really get anything about intellectual property rights, copyright, publishing rights, trademark. And even though we often sit at the helm of a team that includes promoters, publicists, booking agents, even a manager, we don't understand leadership. Teamwork? No, forget about it. Even though we work with many collaborators, groups, ensembles where we have to share credit or hold people accountable. And a good old-fashioned American value like hard work, we don't get that either, despite the fact that many of us have become proficient at or even mastered an instrument or 3 or 5. We also don't understand logistics, even though to book a 2-week tour with 12 dates often means you're in simultaneous communication with like 150 different people. How about something like empathy or assessing someone's character and how that might impact their policy decisions? Well, we're not very good at that either. Even though all good art takes people on some kind of journey that changes the way they think or the way they feel. We don't know anything about adaptability, even though the music industry changes every 2 years and is a completely new set of best practices. We don't know anything about performing under pressure, even though we often have to pass the audition. And then when we step on stage, our ego and our reputation are on the line every time. Musicians know very little about history, even though we can watch Ancient Aliens just like you can. And the present day, the real world, we don't know how the real world works, even though we live in it. So to all the Bobs and Sallys out there, I just want to say again, I am sorry. This year, I will not be sharing my political convictions. But if I did, I could tell you that I will not be voting for the guy who should have been disqualified as a candidate way back when he said he just goes up to women and grabs them by the